Hello, everyone. Blue Star here. Welcome to PS, etc. Politics and Spirit and More. I recently had posted a Facebook post and basically just encouraging people to maybe turn on the news and find out what's going on in the world right now, especially in our country. So that's my first moments of encouragement. But today, I titled this session, Understanding Democracy and Anarchy. And as I've written below, I'm kind of a newbie in politics. Politics was just never my thing, but over the past several years, I'm really letting myself get educated. I'm paying a lot more attention to how the government functions and all our elected officials and on and on. And I thought I'd share this with you in a non-legalese way, is that I have finally gotten clarity because as a rebellious youth, and I guess that rebellious nature is still within me, I just never felt like I had total freedom. And I looked around me, I looked at our country, and I was like, man, some of these rules are just so archaic, and this is not freedom. Why do we call this freedom? Well, it only took me, 40 years later to start to get some clarity. And this may be a no-brainer to you, but I guess I'm just speaking to those of you that, maybe you're in civics education 101 like me. So here's my update, okay? So the way I understand democracy now is, no, it's not about that freedom from the depth of our soul, okay? Which I'm going to speak to that as well. But that democracy is when a consensus, a larger group of people vote and decide on rules and regulations that seem appropriate and beneficial at this moment. That's all it is. It doesn't necessarily satisfy 100% of the people, and that's understandable. But that basically we're saying, it's kind of like driving on the highway. We've basically have established rules and regulations on how to stay fairly safe and how maneuvering a car or a truck or whatever on the highways, if you just follow these simple rules and regulations, we won't have as many accidents. Okay, that's the real simple-minded understanding of democracy. Now, anarchy, which, that's in the core of a rebellious nature, but more importantly, anarchy is truly the core of our spirituality, because anarchy is self-governing. And so years ago when I was in my own little tribes that, anarchy, let's do anarchy. But it was more, it was rebellious and angry, it was like wanted to break all the laws, and they almost condone thievery, right? And I knew at the time that wasn't right. I mean, it just didn't feel right. But now, having done my cross-cultural studies and continuing in spirituality and philosophy and understanding cross-cultural religious virtues and on, I have come to the awareness that anarchy, yes, self-governing. Anarchy is what truly our spirit desires. It wants complete freedom. It wants to be able to be trusted and make our own rules. But here lies the challenge. If we are not responsible beings, and if we are not spiritually and emotionally mature, then our self-governing isn't quite clean. And so I would just say overall that we haven't transcended as a collective yet that genuinely cares about everyone else, has loving kindness as the first kind of response to one another. And that self-governing you have to have that authenticity of truth. The ego is no big deal. It's out of the way. But you have to genuinely know right from wrong, have a conscience, and have some heart virtues. And then self-governing, of course it would work, because we would just know in our heart, it's like driving on the wrong side of the road. If we're jeopardizing the other traffic, that's, we would just make common sense. We would just know that's just not cool. And we would also know, thievery is not appropriate, and on and on and on. But we would also have more in the forefront, our generosity, our generous spirit, to be giving and making sure everyone has shelter and food and good water. So anyway, I just wanted to offer that clarity today. I know it's simple, but so am I sometimes. But anyway, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and then you'll get a notification each time I post a new PS, etc. And also, I really do welcome comments. My YouTube comments down below, would love that. And so, blessed ones, stay safe, drive on the appropriate side of the road, and I don't know, just chew on that thought, and take a poke at the news. It's not a bad thing to start getting educated. I love you all. Blessed be.